WiseGuyBets here with some DFS picks. Major League Baseball. Today's date is September 1st, 2021. We're going to look at the DraftKings main slate, 11 games on the slate. And again, my picks are for GPP, guaranteed prize pool, which is tournaments, or you can use them also in the tiers game format. Let's look at the pitcher position. At pitcher, I'm looking at Garrett Cole for the New York Yankees. His projection on that is 20.9 fantasy points. He has an ERA of 2.80 in the season. He's pitching around 6.2 innings per game. He's averaging 25 fantasy points over 24 games. His last three has been 31, 26, 31. He's 9,900 on DraftKings. I think he's the best value in the slate tonight. He's 9,900, which is a little expensive, but he is very consistent and very productive. His last five against the Angels have been 34, 35, 35, 29, and 31. I like Mr. Cole. He's going into my lineups tonight at the pitcher position. Let's look at the catcher position. At catcher, we're looking at Sean Murphy for Oakland. His projection on night is 9 fantasy points. He's has 15 homers on the season. He's batting .218. He's getting around 3.3 at-bats per game. He's averaging 6 fantasy points over 105 games. His last three has been 0-4-2. He's 3,700 on DraftKings. He has a draft dashboard shows he has a 24% advantage against the pitcher he's facing. His last five against Detroit has been 7-6-7, 18-2. With the catcher position tonight, you can either pay up and get someone like Salvador Perez, who's been extremely hot for 6,200, but his projection is 10.1, and his last three hasn't been as great as he's hit two Grand Slam homers in consecutive games in his two of his previous 3 games. So he's very expensive. I don't think he's worth 6,200. I would rather go for a little value here at 3,700 for Sean Murphy. So Sean Murphy, I'm trying to get in my lineup tonight at the catcher position. Let's look at the first base position. I'm going with someone I went with last night. I'm going with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for Toronto. His projection on that is 8.1 fantasy points. He has 39 homers on the season. He's batting .313. He's getting around 3.7 at-bats per game. His last three has been 8, 32, 14. One of the reasons I'm selecting him, he's playing Baltimore. Also, he's 5 for 7 against his pitcher, 4 singles and 1 home run. The projection run total is 10. His last 5 against Baltimore is 14, 16, 15, 32, 14. I think he eclipsed the 8.1 projection. I think he gets over 10 again tonight. He's playing very well, and he has great success against his pitcher. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is someone I want to get into my lineup tonight at the first base position. Let's look at the second base position. At second base, I'm looking at Whit Merrifield for Kansas City. His projection on night is 9.7 fantasy points. He has 10 homers on the season. He's batting .280. He's getting around 4 bats per game. He's averaging 9 fantasy points over 131 games. His last 3 has been 17-0-3. He's 5,000 on DraftKings. He's 2 for 3 against the pitcher he's facing, 1 single, 1 home run. His last 5 against Cleveland has been 5, 10, 0, 2, and 3. I like him in this position tonight. Draft dashboard shows he has a 46% advantage against the pitcher he's facing, and he's also 2 for 3 against this pitcher. We're looking at a projected run total of 9. He's batting leadoff in the lineup. I like all of that, and I think Mr. Merrifield will eclipse his projection of 9.7 fantasy points for tonight. Let's look at the third base position. At third base, I'm looking at Josh Donaldson for Minnesota. His projection on night is 9.7 fantasy points. He has 21 homers on the season. He's batting .256. He's getting around 3.3 at-bats per game. He is averaging 8 fantasy points over 105 games. His last 3 has been 6, 21, 2. He's 4,000 on DraftKings. Draft dashboard shows him having a 15% advantage against the pitcher he's facing tonight. His last 5 against the Chicago Cubs are 5, 3, 16, 10, and 2. I like him in his position tonight. we're looking at a run total of 9. He's one of the highest ranked players on Draft Dashboard tonight, and I'm going to go with that. I'm not really seeing anything else at the third base position that I've fell in love with, and I like him in this spot tonight. I think the game will go higher than the 9 over/under run total, and with him batting third in the lineup, we're looking at probably 4 or 5 at bats, I think, for him tonight, and I think he will exceed his 9.7 if he gets those at bats. So Josh Donaldson is someone I'm looking to get into my lineup tonight at the third base position. Let's look at the shortstop position. At shortstop, I'm looking at Josh Harrison for Oakland. His projection on that is 8.2 fantasy points, 8 homers on the season. He's batting .293. He's getting around 3.6 at bats per game. He's averaging 7 over 111 games. His last 3 has been 0, 6, 20. He's coming off a pretty good game of 20 fantasy points. He's 3,900 on DraftKings. He's 5 for 12 against the pitcher. He's facing 4 singles, 1 double. We're looking at a 9.5 projected run total. His last 5 against Detroit has been 5, 0, 16, 0, 0, and 20. He's coming off of 20, and he has a pretty good matchup that's in his favor. I think he easily eclipsed the 8.2. I'm looking, I say around 15 probably. But Josh Harrison is someone I definitely want to try to get into my lineup tonight at the shortstop position. Let's look at the outfield. In the outfield, I'm looking at George Springer for Toronto. His projection on that is 9.4 fantasy points. He has 16 homers on the season. He's batting .266. He's getting around 3.7 at bats per game. He's averaging 10 fantasy points over 51 games. His last 3 has been 2, 16, and 0. He's coming off a 0. I definitely like players coming off a 0. He's 5,000 on DraftKings. He's 5 for 12 against the pitcher he's facing. 2 singles, 3 home runs. So 3 of his 5 hits against the pitcher he's facing has been home runs. We're looking at an over/under run projection of 10. So you're looking at Mr. Springer probably getting 4 to 5 at bats per game. He's batting leadoff. I just like him in his position. His last 4 against Baltimore is 4, 3, 0, 16, 0. I like him because it's against Baltimore. I like it because he has success against his pitcher. I like it that he's coming off of 0. I like everything about George Springer tonight, and he's also one of the highest rated players on Draft Dashboard tonight. So George Springer is definitely someone I want to try to get into my lineup tonight in the outfield position. So those are my picks for today. If my picks help you, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already done so, that would be greatly appreciated. That's all I have for today. Hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.